Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. It's not light yet, so I'm sort of halfway between what I said I'd do, filming in the dark, and actually finding out what's going on with this Epidendrum nocturnum. Okay, from various sources I've found out that one, it's not going to open again. This beastie has a reputation of self-pollinating, and as we all know, if an orchid flower actually gets pollinated, it collapses very fast, often within a day or a couple of days. And this one not only has a reputation for self-pollination, sometimes it self-pollinates and the bloom never even opens. So although it was a privileged view on my part, because it did open for at least one day, that appears to be what's happened. So it's not going to open again, it has pollinated itself. That's the bad news. But the good news is that it is often sequential. So it may be possible that another bud will push out the side of that spike. But obviously it's not going to do that, I suspect, if I allow that seed pod to develop. So I'm going to have to take that bloom off now. Well, when I get out here and start work. Breakfast first, and more coffee. But yeah, it has a reputation for that. But as the plant progresses and produces more and more canes and becomes larger, it's capable of producing more blooms at the same time. And apparently when it gets to that stage, most of the blooms won't self-pollinate. So it's a matter of, that was its first ever bloom, so I think its natural instinct is to just get some seed out there. You know, that's self-perpetuation and all that stuff. But as it gets bigger and stronger and there's more bloom spikes on the go, being sequential, you know, you can often have buds and blooms on the go once you get a larger plant, and at that point the blooms can actually last quite a long time. But if they self-pollinate, they collapse. So unfortunately for you, we're not going to see the bloom. We've got to wait for another one. As I say, it did open, it looked gorgeous. I mean, you look it up on the internet to find what the blooms look like, but for me, there's nothing like seeing them for real. So I did get a glimpse of what is now to come, rather than actually is. So that's the state of play on that. So no more updates on that plant, apart from the fact that I hope the spike will shoot out sideways. Once I get to take that bloom off. But if I leave the bloom on, it probably won't. But then it may well do that on the next bloom as well. What I really need is for this cane to get its spike going as well, so that it's got two on the go. I think it's just a sort of self-preservation thing with this plant, that, you know, its ability to produce seed is geared up to the number of blooms it's currently got. And it currently had one. So it promptly went for the seed option rather than the pretty flower option. So that's that one gone. I'll see if there's anything else to film. It won't be today. Got a busy day today, but I'll be out here watering a few things, so I may spot a few things. But apart from that, that's the update on Epidendrum nocturnum. I didn't know that when I got the plant, that's for sure. I knew what the blooms were supposed to look like. I looked it up, but I didn't realise it has a habit of self-pollinating. So anyway, mystery solved. At least we know now. See you next time. That's the heater just come on. Standing out here in my dressing gown. It's flipping freezing. It is. What should I say it is? It is 14.5 degrees. That is not comfortable in one's dressing gown. But I forgot to say thanks to everybody who either knew the facts about the nocturnum or actually went away and found out for me and left comments on the last video. This is what's good about this YouTube stuff. Yeah? You know, you come across little things that one person knows because they've got an odd plant that not many others have got, that they can then pass on information to others that didn't know those things. This is what I like. It's good stuff. That information I did actually find on the internet about the self-pollination, but you know, others have left comments, they've actually got the plant and they've had to go away and find out what the hell was going on. So, you know, you've got actual knowledge of the plant, you know. I mean, you may end up with some orchids that you're the only one and nobody in the orchid YouTube orchid community's actually got that plant. You're on your own, bud. But, you know, there's usually some information out there somewhere. But it's great when it's first-hand info. That's what I like. It's the real stuff, not something read in a 40-year-old book, which may or may not be right. But the first-hand information is the good stuff for me. Yeah, so anyway, see you next time.